Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a new review roundup. So this is a new series I'm going to be starting on my channel where pretty much I'm going to go through all of the first impressions I've done in the month prior and give you guys a follow-up to those first impressions. So I'm calling it a review roundup. So it's basically just going to be like all of my reviews clipped into one. I'm going to share my thoughts on all of the products I've been testing out this month based upon the first impressions that I've done. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started. Today's video is going to be on three separate first impressions. So we have the WetNWild Spring collection, the WetNWild Pumped collection, and then also the What's the Tea palettes from the Balm. So I'm going to be giving you guys my full thoughts on all three of those collections. Kind of since I've had a chance to just try all the products out more, I've been testing them out over the last few weeks, and I'm kind of just want to share my overall thoughts on those collections with you. I know sometimes with the first impressions, you kind of just see how I'm feeling in that moment, and I want to make sure to start coming back and kind of giving you my full thoughts on the collections once I've had a chance to just test them out more. So that being said, I'm going to first start with the WetNWild Spring collection. So this is a collection that they sent over to me, a massive PR package with a ton of their new spring launches. I'm going to have all three of these videos linked down below in the description box, so if you didn't get a chance to check out those first impressions and you want to kind of see the products in action, you can definitely check out those videos. So there was a lot of products to that video that I was testing out, and I kind of just want to run through them all with you. So the first thing I tried out was the primer waters, and I've actually been really enjoying these. So I had tried previously a Wet n Wild setting spray, and I did really like it. I think I used it completely up, and I didn't actually end up repurchasing it, but I did really like it. So this really reminds me of that. Besides, this one is just a scented version of that. So I have the coconut one right here. They also had a cucumber one, and then I believe a rose one as well. And I really like the coconut one. I do like the cucumber one as well, but I think that this is a great setting spray. I also think it's really nice as just a face mister kind of before you go in with your makeup, just to give your skin a little bit of hydration. I've been using this one a bunch. I can already feel I've gotten down there because I've been using this one actually daily. I really do like it. And then we tried out the foundation stick, and this is another one that I really liked from the collection. I was shocked, and you guys will kind of see in that video how surprised I was at how well this looked on my skin. I don't really typically love stick foundations. I feel like for me, they just kind of slip around a lot. They're not the most flattering on my skin, but for some reason, something about this one just looks really nice on the skin. It dries down matte, which I think also helps too, that sometimes I deal with them kind of just slipping and sliding, and even if I set them with powder, I feel like throughout the day, they're kind of just sliding off my face. This one doesn't do that though. It stays really well. It does have nice coverage on it as well. It looks really natural on the skin. It doesn't look too heavy or anything like that. I've really been enjoying this one. It's super affordable. I think it's about $5.99, so really nice price point on this one. So if you haven't checked it out, I would recommend that one for sure. And then also a part of that launch that they sent over was some new highlights as well as bronzers. So the loose highlighters, I really just love this collection. There was a lot of this collection that I just feel was just geared towards me, and I really liked it. So we had the loose highlighters. These are the two that I've been enjoying the most. So we have the shade I'm So Lit, and then also You Glow Girl. So the You Glow Girl is more of a pinky highlight, and this one is just a true golden highlight. The gold one is the one that I have on my face today, which is the It's So Lit. I love these. I haven't been able to really put them down since I've started testing them out. I don't normally love loose highlighters, but I've been getting more into them recently. I've been just testing them out more, and I've really been loving these. I think they're so blinding, so nice, and I also enjoy the packaging. I don't feel like these ones get very messy. It kind of just sits really nicely in the component here, and sometimes my issue with the loose highlights is you kind of open them up, the highlight gets everywhere, it's a mess. I don't think that this really happens with these. I think that it kind of leaves the product up here on the top. You don't really have to worry about shaking it, putting it on the cap or anything like that. It stays pretty put. So I do like that about the packaging as well. Like I said, with a lot of loose highlights, I do deal with them kind of just going all over the place. And then there was a new pressed highlight in this collection as well. So this one was the Bloom Time, which is more of a pinky highlight. So this one is nice. In the video, you guys see me kind of saying this isn't really a wearable shade because it's very peach. But actually on the skin, I wore this a few days ago and I've worn it a few times now, but on the skin it doesn't look as like pink as it does in the pan. It's even hard to pick up on camera, but like in person it looks very, very pink and like very peachy almost. And I thought on my skin tone it wouldn't look the best, but it actually looks pretty nice. This isn't my favorite formula of Wet n Wild highlights, and now I think I like the loose ones a little bit more. It is still a really good highlight. It's very blinding. I don't know that I'll reach for this one all the time. Like I said, it's not my favorite formula. I much prefer the loose highlighters now that I've tried those opposed to the press highlighters, but I used to love these. So I don't think that they're a bad highlight by any means, but now since I've tried the loose ones, I feel like those are just so much more stunning, blinding. They're just, I don't know, there's something about them that is just like looks wet on the skin. I really like the loose ones. That being said, the press ones are still good as well if you haven't ever tried them. It's not like I would say don't try them, because I do think they're good. I just think the loose ones are quite a bit more down my alley. And then we have the bronzers. So there was quite a few bronzers to the collection, and the one that I've been enjoying the most is the Ticket to Brazil. And I'm actually pretty surprised because this one looks so orange in the pan, and even when I first tried this one I was like, that's gonna be really orange on me, like it's not even gonna work. I really, really like this though. There's something about it just on my skin tone that I think looks really natural. It doesn't look too orange, it just looks kind of just sun-kissed. I have tried the bronzers in the past. I believe it was the Fire and Ice collection, and I did like those ones as well. However, I do like this new packaging a lot better. They're a lot larger pans than the other ones. I believe they were in just like these smaller components like this. I do like the larger pans on these, super affordable again. So up next we have the eye that were part of that collection, the new liquid CATSUITs. So we have a cream formula, a metallic formula, and then also a shimmer formula to these. You guys saw me talking about them in my most recent favorites video. I've been really liking these. I highly recommend them for the price. These are only $4.99. The actual cream shades remind me a lot of the Huda Beauty Melted Mattes. Dry down matte on your eyes, so all you have to do is just like dot them and then blend them out. They dry down matte. They stay really nicely. The shimmer ones, both the metallic and the like shimmer shades, also stay really nicely. You do have to build the like shimmer ones up quite a bit to get them to be really opaque, but they are really nice. The metallic ones, however, are very, very foiled and very pigmented when you first apply them. And then the last part of that collection was the lip products. So they came out with these liquid CATSUITs. These are supposed to be called the High Shine lipsticks. So what they are is basically like a lip gloss. They're supposed to have the long-lasting power that a liquid lipstick has. I won't necessarily say that they're long-lasting. I think that they're very comparable to a regular gloss. I do like the formula. I think the shades in here are really nice. I just don't know that they're really marketed towards what they really are, because I don't think that they stay any longer than any other glosses that I have. I think you definitely have to reapply them. They apply nicely over lipsticks, which is my favorite way to wear them. And I do think they're nice. I like the color selection, like I said. I think these are good. I just don't think that they're as long-lasting as they're kind of saying they're going to be, but I don't mind it because with me, with glosses, I kind of know that I have to reapply them anyways. So now that I went through that whole collection, I know I had a lot of favorites from that one because I have really been loving like pretty much all of those products that they sent over. There's a few that I kind of would tweak if I could, but I have for the most part really enjoyed that collection. Now I want to talk about the Pumped collection. This one is supposed to be geared more towards active, like this is supposed to be like they have a BB cream to this. There's all like these primers and like balms and things more geared towards like working out, and there's some skincare products and things like that. This is the collection where I feel like it wasn't necessarily my vibes per se, and just not really my makeup preferences, and I think that that's going to show when I kind of get into my review on these products, because I didn't really love this line as much. So first thing I want to talk about is the Makeup Locker. So this is supposed to be a 3-in-1 BB cream. So what it is it has the BB cream here on the bottom, and then on the top you actually lift this up, and it has a corrector and then also a highlight, if I can get it open. And here's what it looks like on the top. So you have the color corrector and then also a cream highlight in here. I didn't really love this. I've used it quite a few times now, and I've tried to really like it. And it's not necessarily the bottom component that I don't like the BB cream. It's okay. I don't necessarily prefer BB creams a lot of time. I like a little bit more full coverage. I don't always necessarily wear makeup to the gym either, so kind of like the workout aspect of that, it doesn't really apply to me because I mostly don't wear makeup at the gym. But I guess if you're someone who does like to, maybe you'll like this product. Or if you're someone who likes to wear more lighter makeup, I don't think that the formula of the BB cream is bad. However, I don't really love the top of this. I think that the color corrector, at least with this shade that I've been using, the shade that I've been using is light medium, and at least for me, the color corrector I feel like is too dark for the shade of the BB cream. I think that even when I apply this like to my eyes, I blend it out, you can still kind of see it through the BB cream because it's a little bit too dark. So I wish that this was just maybe not so orange. I know it's trying to like color correct like your dark circles and things, but I think it's just a little bit too orange for the actual BB cream to cover it up because it didn't have enough coverage to do that. Also, the cream highlighter, I feel like it kind of felt greasy on my skin. I'm just not really a huge fan of this. I do think it's a cool idea to have it kind of like 3 all in one. It's super affordable, but I don't know. I haven't been loving this, but again, I don't think it's necessarily geared towards me either. I don't really love BB creams. I don't necessarily love like cream highlights and things, so it's kind of, I just think, not really geared to me per se. And then also a part of this collection, you had a lot of these little like cooling sticks and also like the blemish sticks. You had the lip balms. So they were just like these little mini things right here, and then they have like this little partner up thing where you can actually combine them, so you can put the two here like that. So my favorite out of these was the cooling one. I do think that this one was really cooling on the skin. It's the blue one, and this one I think would be comparable to like the Milk Makeup. They have a blue one that's supposed to be for cooling. I think that they were kind of going for that with these. They have the primer stick that I think would be similar to like the blur stick in a way. These for me, I just don't love how tiny they are. I feel like you have to really like apply a lot of product to get it all over your face just because they are so tiny. But I do like the cooling one. The lip balms, however, I'm not a fan of. I think that they're very, very sheer on the lips, and they're almost too sheer to where it's like almost non-existent. Like you can barely see them. They're not really that comfortable. I feel like they're kind of like slippery. I know a lip balm isn't really meant to necessarily be very pigmented or anything like that, but for me, these like hardly show up on my lips, and I don't know, they're just a little bit sticky. I think they swatch better than they even show up, but I don't know, I just don't necessarily, like I said, think that this collection is very much geared towards me. I think that I'm someone who loves more of like a full face. I don't necessarily love a lot of like cream products. I know you had the cream blushes that were part of this collection as well. However, we did have some skincare products in this collection as well, and I have been testing out the cleanser. So this one is the facial oil cleanser. It's called Expert Level. I've used this one I think 3 or 4 times now, and I do like this one. It's nice for removing makeup. It's obviously going to be affordable if it is Wet n Wild. I do prefer more of like a milky cleanser instead of a oil-based cleanser, just because that's what I prefer on my skin a little bit more. I feel like it doesn't strip my skin as much. This one did leave my skin feeling a little bit dry, but it wasn't bad at all. I've used a lot more stripping of cleansers, so I think that it definitely took away my makeup. I thought it worked nicely to get rid of the makeup. I didn't have to use too much of it, so I do think this one is actually worth it if you were looking into some of the skincare products that were a part of this line. They also have the Hit the Showers. These are just like a face and body wipe. I don't think that these worked really well for removing my makeup, but I thought they felt really cooling and nice on the body. I was using these after I got home from the gym. I thought these were a cool idea to just have like a quick little something you can go over yourself really quickly if you're headed somewhere after the gym. I thought that these were nice. They smell very minty, however, they have a very strong mint scent to them, which I wasn't really expecting with this. So that was kind of like weird when I opened it up, and I was like, whoa, like it really smells like mint, but it's not bad. I mean, I think it's a little bit refreshing too, especially if you're going to apply those after you work out. So up next, we do have the What's the Tea. These are the final thing I'm going to talk about that I did in a first impressions. So these are new eyeshadow palettes from the Balm. There are 2 different ones. So we have the iced tea version, which is this one right here, and then we also have the hot tea version as well, which I've been testing both of these out. I've used them quite a handful of times, and I think these are really cool palettes. I'm definitely really loving these. So I like them. I didn't know that I would like the primers that are in here. So you actually have, each one of them has a lid primer. So you have a more neutral tone one and then a black one in here, and then you have all of these shades. So what's cool about these palettes is because they do have those primers in there, these shades are actually going to shift based upon what primer you apply. So if you apply the neutral one, the shades are going to look different than if you applied the black one. It's not really a new concept because I feel like if you applied any black base, obviously the shades are going to look different over top of that. But I think it's a cool idea to kind of market it as all of these different shades within the palette. Also, if you don't use any primer, either one of these primers, they are going to look different too. So I've been really enjoying both of these. I think that this one's definitely more like your neutral tones, and then if you go into the iced tea palette, this is definitely more of like your cool tones. You have some blues in there. It's a little bit more fun than this one here. However, I have been reaching into both of them. I feel like the formulas on these are really nice. nice. These shadows perform nicely. These shimmers especially are very, very pigmented in both of these palettes. You don't really have to build them up too much. I feel like they're pretty opaque when you put them on. And the mattes, of course, perform really nicely as well. I like the fact that both palettes have mirrors. So I've really been enjoying these. Again, I haven't really been reaching into them just to review them. I've been wanting to reach into these. So that's kind of just shows me that I do really, really enjoy these palettes. I'm going to continue to use them. I'm going to keep them in my collection. I would highly recommend these if you guys haven't had a chance to check them out. I would highly recommend them again. And I know you can see them sometimes at Kohl's. I always see like their displays at Kohl's. So I know a lot of you guys are like, they're not in Ulta, they're not in Sephora. Where can I get them? I know you can purchase them on the Balm's website, and I also see them sometimes at Kohl's, like I said. I'm not sure if these palettes are available there yet. I'm sure at some point they will be in stores, I'm guessing. So yeah, I definitely recommend these palettes. That is going to do it for this review roundup. Let me know what you guys think of this format. Did you enjoy just hearing like more details on these products and kind of hearing more of my thoughts on them after I've tested them out? Let me know what you think of like me kind of putting them all into one video. Would you rather just see one video on each collection? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys prefer best. I hope you did like this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you guys go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.